I wasted 50 years chasing the wrong things. That's what Margaret, 87, told me when I asked about her biggest regret. Her words struck me like a pebble revealing gold beneath the surface, unexpected wisdom hiding in plain sight. After interviewing over 100 seniors about happiness, I discovered something surprising that challenges conventional thinking. Today, I'm sharing wisdom that people in their 80s wish they had known decades earlier. These are practical insights from people who've experienced the full spectrum of joy and regret across nearly a century of living. What would you do differently if you could see your life through their eyes? What if the people you're trying to impress don't matter at all? James, 83, shared this with me while sitting in his living room surrounded by photos of his late wife. His voice cracked slightly as he added, "After 60 years together and then losing her, I realized I wasted so much time worrying about what people thought of me, people who aren't even in my life anymore." James's revelation highlights a profound shift. Many discover too late meaningful connections matter more than impressive social networks. As we age, our social worlds naturally contract through retirement, loss of loved ones, and physical limitations. This contraction reveals something crucial about happiness that most of us miss when we're younger. Many of us spend decades believing more connections equal more happiness. We collect friends like achievements, prioritizing quantity over depth. We attend events we don't enjoy, say yes to draining commitments, and stretch ourselves thin, maintaining dozens of surface-level friendships. Then life's inevitable challenges arrive, revealing the truth. When I had my stroke at 72, Margaret told me, I was shocked by who showed up and who disappeared. People I'd had weekly lunches with for 20 years simply sent cards, while neighbors I barely knew brought meals for months. Her experience mirrors what I heard repeatedly, the surprising discovery of which relationships had substance when tested. Research shows 43% of adults over 60 experience regular loneliness. I witnessed this firsthand with Eleanor, who, despite hundreds of social media connections, had no one to call when she fell ill. Meanwhile, those reporting the highest life satisfaction maintain just 3 to 5 deep, meaningful connections. Carol, 89, described maintaining friendships out of obligation for decades. I spent 30 years meeting monthly with college friends I had nothing in common with anymore. We'd grown so different, but none of us wanted to break tradition. Quality always outweighs quantity. The happiest seniors I interviewed had invested deeply in relationships offering genuine emotional support and mutual joy, friendships where they appeared authentically without pretense. I have 3 friends left, Thomas, 91, told me with a smile, but they're the right ones. I'd rather have one person who sits with me in silence when words fail than 20 who fill the air with empty talk. This insight leads to what many described as their recommendation, conducting a relationship audit. Like cleaning out a closet where you hold each connection and ask if it brings genuine joy or purpose. Does this person energize you or drain you? Would they show up during difficult times? Don't wait until you're forced to choose, advised Helen, 85. Choose now, choose deliberately, and choose quality. Your future self will thank you. This wisdom recognizes the limited nature of our time and emotional energy. It asks the question these seniors wish they'd asked decades earlier. Who would truly be there during your darkest moments? Because those relationships deserve your attention now. As Louise, 94, said with remarkable clarity, the happiest people aren't those with the most friends, they're the ones with the right friends. My biggest regret is all the time I wasted worrying about things that never happened, Ruth told me, her 92-year-old eyes crinkling at the corners. She smoothed the fabric of her dress with hands marked by decades of life. All those sleepless nights over problems that resolved themselves or never materialized at all. Many seniors described feeling like prisoners to their own thoughts, trapped in cycles of anxiety and stress about matters they ultimately couldn't control. They carried these mental burdens for years, sometimes their entire adult lives, only to discover in their later years how unnecessary that suffering had been. It's like they'd been carrying heavy suitcases on a lifelong journey, only to open them at the destination and find they were filled with stones that could have been discarded along the way. What struck me most was the disconnect between what we believe in our younger years and what these elders have actually experienced. While many of us operate under the assumption that careful planning and persistent worry somehow prevent problems or prepare us for challenges, seniors consistently reported the opposite. Their lived experience suggests that most worry is simply suffering in advance for things that often never come to pass. I spent 30 years stressed about my performance reviews, Howard, 84, confessed with a rueful shake of his head. I worried about what my boss thought, what my colleagues thought. I lost sleep over presentations and deadlines. He leaned forward in his chair. Now I can't even remember my boss's name, but I remember all the school plays I missed for my children because of work I thought was so important. This realization brought Howard a clarity that transformed his final decades. He redirected his energy toward relationships instead of professional anxieties. The science supports their perspective. Research shows that chronic stress accelerates aging, weakens the immune system, and contributes to numerous health problems. Yet ironically, many seniors shared that they found peace only after experiencing serious health challenges that forced a new perspective. After my heart attack at 68, everything changed, explained William, 79. Suddenly I could see clearly what mattered and what didn't. It was like putting on glasses after years of blurry vision. Those who reported the highest life satisfaction had learned a crucial skill, distinguishing between solvable problems worthy of attention and circumstances beyond their control that required acceptance. This ability to discern where to direct mental energy made a significant difference in their overall happiness. The seniors I interviewed consistently ranked these concerns as meaningless in retrospect. Appearance changes, others' opinions, especially from people not central to your life, and career status. Which of your current worries would your 80-year-old self find completely irrelevant? What mental burdens might you set down today rather than carrying them for decades only to discover they were unnecessary all along? When I asked 86-year-old Edward, a former banking executive, about his biggest financial regret, his answer left me speechless. I spent 40 years helping other people grow their wealth, he said, staring at his hands, but I never learned how to invest in what actually makes a life rich. His words hung in the air between us, heavy with decades of reflection. This sentiment surfaced repeatedly in my conversations with seniors across economic backgrounds. Many faced genuine financial challenges in their later years. Limited fixed incomes that strain against rising healthcare costs, housing expenses, and the fear of outliving their savings. Yet even among those who had achieved traditional financial success, I discovered something unexpected about the relationship between money and happiness. Our society teaches us that financial security leads directly to happiness. We work longer hours, prioritize salary over satisfaction in pursuit of this promise. But the wealthiest seniors weren't consistently the happiest ones in my interviews. I miss my daughter's childhood chasing promotions, admitted Patricia, 79, who built a successful legal career. No amount in my retirement account can buy back those soccer games or dance recitals. I was solving for the wrong equation entirely. Science backs up what these seniors discovered through experience. Research consistently shows that beyond meeting basic needs, food, shelter, healthcare, and freedom from financial stress, additional wealth has diminishing returns on happiness. After reaching middle-class comfort, more money doesn't create proportionally more joy. The contrast between different groups was striking. I met financially successful seniors living in beautiful homes filled with possessions but marked by loneliness. They had focused primarily on building wealth rather than connections. Meanwhile, seniors with modest means but rich community ties reported significantly higher life satisfaction. Many seniors described the emotional toll of accumulating things throughout their lives, collections, heirlooms, furniture, only to discover these items had transformed from sources of joy into burdens, like clouds that promised rain but eventually just blocked the sun. "My children don't want my china or silver," explained Martha, 88. "I spent years acquiring beautiful things and now I worry about what will happen to them. The stuff I thought would bring happiness just brings anxiety now." By contrast, seniors who prioritized experiences spoke warmly about the memories they'd created. Those who invested in family trips or shared adventures had built a wealth of stories that continued to sustain them. The seniors I interviewed recommended spending money in 3 specific areas: meaningful experiences with loved ones, maintaining health, and eliminating daily sources of stress. Not once did anyone mention regretting the purchase of status symbols or luxury goods. As 92-year-old Florence told me, "Money is like oxygen. You need enough to breathe, but it's not the point of breathing. The truth rings clear." Looking back on all these conversations, the most powerful pattern wasn't about specific choices these seniors made. It was their perspective. The happiest among them had learned to focus on what they could control, appreciate what remained rather than mourn what was lost, and measure their wealth in relationships instead of possessions. Their collective wisdom gives us the chance to see our lives through fresh eyes. What values are you prioritizing today? How might your focus shift if you viewed life through this lens of experience? As 91-year-old Esther told me with quiet certainty, happiness isn't something you find at the end of the journey. It's how you choose to travel along the way. Stay blessed, my friend.